Yes, it's that time of the year again. I've got some fresh new Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra leaks from the holy cat itself, IC Universe. So without any further ado, let's dive right in. What is up everyone, Mr. Fantastic here, and before I begin, let me say this real quick. The Samsung Galaxy S23 series is gonna be a very minor improvement. Think of it as an iPhone type improvement, like with the iPhone 14 from the iPhone 13. Samsung's really starting to copy Apple now, and I don't know how I feel about it, so set your expectations accordingly. With that said, first off, the S23 Ultra is gonna be much more rectangular. There will be much less of a curve. It won't have sharp edges and be as drastic as the iPhones, but it would be much more squarish, making it much more comfortable to hold. And that also means that the display would be flatter, which I suppose is a good thing. We won't have as many accidental touches as we did before, but I know some people really like the curved display because it looked much prettier, so it's very subjective. But that's not all. Because of it, there would also be a 0.15mm increase in the bezels of it, which is quite disappointing in my opinion. I was expecting them to cut down on the bezels instead of beefing them up. I really wanted the bezels to be symmetrical with the S23 Ultra. There are a few months till launch, so this could change. Speaking of which, we have the dimensions of the S23 series too. The thickness would be the exact same on all the S23 models. There won't be any changes in them, but there would be a slight increase in the length and the width of them. Not too substantial, just a tad bit. The S22's cases probably would still fit them. I'm guessing this slight increment is because of the new cameras, which I'll get to in just a second. As for the design, for now the leaks have it that it's the exact same, no changes whatsoever, which is a bit disappointing since I would have loved to see a design change. Not that I hate the S22's design, but it would have been refreshing to see a change. And not just the design, but also the specs would be pretty much the exact same except for the processor. There have been some rumors that Samsung might ditch Exynos altogether and use Snapdragon all the way, not just on their phones but also on their tablets and other devices. I hope it's true because it would be a huge win, because Exynos just doesn't cut it anymore. So the S23 series will rock the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2, which is supposedly even faster and more efficient than the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus, and seeing the performance on the devices using the Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 Plus like the Fold 4 and the Flip 4, I'm super optimistic and excited about this. As for the cameras, I don't really have any info about the S23 and the S23 Plus. However, we will see a 200 megapixel camera on the S23 Ultra. Yeah, as if a 108 megapixel camera wasn't crazy enough for them to settle at. It's gonna be an HP2 sensor which will be released shortly before the S23 launch, and as expected, it's gonna be a big sensor, slightly bigger than the already huge 48 megapixel sensor on the iPhone 14 Pro, which we just saw, and we can expect much more detailed photos and videos. I really hope we don't see a fiasco like the S20 Ultra's main camera when Samsung first introduced a huge sensor on their phone. So let's hope Samsung optimizes this 200 megapixel sensor properly. As for the software, we will see the One UI 5.1 based on Android 13 on it. It will of course have all those great new Android 13 features, and there will also be some much needed improvements in the animations too. The color palettes implementation will also be much better. There will be better text recognition, privacy improvements, and much more. And we'll also see some new features and improvements later down this year too. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What improvements would you like to see in the S23 lineup? Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like on this video if you think I deserve it, and subscribe if you want to see more videos just like this one. We're closing in on 2,000 subscribers, so I would really appreciate it if you guys would just go ahead and subscribe. This is Mr. Fantastic, and I'll catch you in the next fantastic video.